Hello everyone, in this video I am going to cover general characters of Bryophyta. Under general characters we are going to cover four main points. First, habitat, second, gametophytic plant body, third, reproduction, and fourth, sporophyte. First, habitat. Meaning of habitat is place where a plant normally lives and grows. Usually bryophyte grows in moist and shady places. They are moisture loving plants. They prefer moist places. Now, but there are some bryophytes which are aquatic, which means they grow on water surface or may be present in shallow water. For example, Rixia fluitans. Some bryophytes are epiphytes. Now, epiphytes are the plants which grows on other plants, that too without harming the plant on which it is growing. So some bryophytes are epiphytes. Okay. Now if I break the word epiphyte into two parts, first epi, which means upon, and phyte, which means plant. So basically it represents those kind of plants which grows on another plant, and that too without harming the plant on which it is growing. Now the example of this is Dendroceros, which is a bryophyte which grows on another plant. Now, some bryophytes are saprophytic in nature, which means they feed on dead and decaying materials. For example, Bogsponia ephyla. अब कुछ ब्रायोफाइट्स ऐसे होते हैं जो ड्राई हैबिटेट में पाए जाते हैं, where there is very less content of moisture. For example, Polytrichum juniperinum. And there are some bryophytes which are very well adapted to grow in unusual conditions. For example, copper moss. It grows in soil which is rich in copper deposit. It is used as indicator plants for copper. Now, before coming to second point, which is gametophytic plant body, I just want to explain you about two phases. First, gametophytic phase, which is haploid in nature. Second, sporophytic phase, which is diploid in nature. Now the very important point you should remember is that every member of plant kingdom have these two phases in its life cycle. अब ब्रायोफाइट के केस में क्या होता है कि द गैमेटोफाइटिक फेज और गैमेटोफाइटिक प्लांट बॉडी इज डोमिनेंट एंड इज इंडिपेंडेंट. इंडिपेंडेंट से मेरा मतलब है कि it can make its own food, and sporophyte is short lived and is partially or wholly dependent on gametophyte for nutrition. अब हम आते हैं हमारे सेकेंड पॉइंट पे, विच इज गैमेटोफाइटिक प्लांट बॉडी. नाउ गैमेटोफाइटिक प्लांट बॉडी इज हैप्लॉइड, विच मीन्स इट हैज सिंगल सेट ऑफ क्रोमोसोम विच इज 23 इन नंबर. इट इज डोमिनेंट, लॉन्ग लिव्ड, ग्रीन. ग्रीन से मतलब है कि इट हैज प्रेजेंस ऑफ क्लोरोफिल, and it is independent, which means it can make its own food because it has presence of chlorophyll. Gametophyte are either thalloid or leafy shoot. Now थैलॉइड का मतलब क्या है कि दे लैक रूट, स्टेम एंड लीव्स. अब लीफी शूट से मतलब है कि दे हैव स्टेम लाइक सेंट्रल एक्सिस एंड लीफ लाइक अपेंडेजेस. यहाँ पे ध्यान देने वाली बात ये है कि स्टेम लाइक है, लीफ लाइक है, स्टेम एंड लीफ नहीं है. अब जैसे कि हमें पता है कि रूट्स आर कम्प्लीटली एब्सेंट, तो अब अब्जॉर्प्शन का काम कौन करेगा? सो देर आर स्पेशल स्ट्रक्चर्स विच आर थ्रेड लाइक. It can be unicellular or multicellular, which is known as rhizoids. अब ये जो rhizoids है, they help in absorption of water and minerals. Vascular tissues are completely absent, मतलब xylem और phloem नहीं है. तो अब water और food का जो transportation होता है वो cell to cell होता है.
Now the third point, which is reproduction.
Division bryophyta members undergoes vegetative reproduction, and it takes place by fragmentation, adventitious branches, gamma cups, and formation of secondary protonema. Division bryophyta members also undergoes sexual reproduction, which is oogamous type. Now in oogamous type of reproduction, male gametes are small and are flagellated, and male gametes are antherozoids, or we can call it as sperms, and female gametes are large and non-motile eggs. Sex organs are multicellular, which means they are made up of more than one cell, and these sex organs are covered by sterile cells, which are also called as sterile jacket. स्टेराइल सेल्स से मेरा मतलब है कि ऐसे सेल्स जो कभी रिप्रोडक्शन में पार्ट नहीं लेते हैं। मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन्स आर नोन एज एंथेरिडिया एंड फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन्स आर नोन एज आर्चिगोनिया। अब हम पढ़ते हैं स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ एंथेरिडिया। नाउ एंथेरिडिया बेसिकली कंसिस्ट ऑफ टू पार्ट्स, stalk and body. Now the function of stalk is basically it helps the antheridia to get attached on a surface. Now this body consists of sperm mother cells, or we can call it as androcyte mother cells. These mother cells basically produces flagellated male gametes which are called as sperms or antherozoids. अब हम पढ़ते हैं स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ आर्चिगोनिया। ये आर्चिगोनिया इज बेसिकली फ्लास्क शेप्ड। अब हम आर्चिगोनिया का स्ट्रक्चर पढ़ते हैं। आर्चिगोनिया इज फ्लास्क शेप्ड and it is basically differentiated into three parts: neck, which is elongated; venter, which is the basal portion and it is swollen; and stalk, which is short as compared to antheridium. This basal venter, which is swollen, contains egg and a venter canal cell. Neck, which is elongated, it is made up of row of cells and these cells are called neck canal cells. Tip of neck is covered by 4 cover cells. In this diagram I have shown only 2 cover cells. The other 2 cover cells are present behind these 2. Yes, so now process of fertilization. तो जब भी मैं फर्टिलाइजेशन की बात करती हूँ स्पेशली इन डिवीजन ब्रायोफाइटा में, तो आपको हमेशा एक बात ये याद रखनी है कि फर्टिलाइजेशन कैन ओनली अकर इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ वाटर. व्हेन द एंथेरिडियम मैच्योर्स, within antheridium mucilaginous mass is present and within this mucilaginous mass flagellated antherozoids are present. अब जब ये mature antheridium पानी के कांटेक्ट में आता है, it get burst and extrudes out sperms and antherozoids. ये तो हमने बात करी antheridium की. तो अब हम बात करते हैं आर्चिगोनियम की. जब ये आर्चिगोनियम mature होता है, the neck canal cells and venter canal cells disintegrates. अब ये जो डिसइंटीग्रेटेड प्रोडक्ट होता है वो एक म्यूसिलेजिनस मास के फॉर्म में होता है और ये बाहर निकलने की कोशिश करता है, तो ये इतने फोर्स क्रिएट करता है कि जो कवर सेल्स होते हैं वो खुल जाते हैं और ये बेसिकली आर्चिगोनिया से बाहर निकल जाता है. नाउ व्हेन दिस म्यूसिलेजिनस मास comes out, the neck becomes hollow and it basically creates a path for antherozoids so that it can reach up to egg which is present at the basal portion of the archigonia. Fertilization now takes place. This needs presence of water. The liberated spermatozoids or sperms, or we can call it as antherozoids, swim in water. अब सोचने वाली बात ये है कि जब एंथेरोजॉइड्स स्विम करते हैं पानी में, तो एंथेरोजॉइड्स को कैसे पता चलेगा कि आर्चिगोनिया कहाँ पे है? तो अब ये जो आर्चिगोनिया था उसके नेक कैनाल सेल और वेंटर कैनाल सेल्स तो डिसइंटीग्रेट हो चुके थे और ये म्यूसिलेज फॉर्म में बाहर आ चुके थे कवर सेल्स को खोल के, जिसकी वजह से जो आर्चिगोनियल नेक है वो हॉलो हो चुका था. तो अब from this hollow archegonial neck, certain proteins and chemicals are coming out and the antherozoids or sperms are chemotactically attracted by these chemicals. तो अब जब ये एंथेरोजॉइड्स या स्पर्म्स अट्रैक्ट होते हैं तो ये नेक, आर्चिगोनियल नेक के अंदर से पास होते हुए विंटर तक पहुंचते हैं और ये फर्टिलाइज करते हैं एग को. नाउ फोर्थ पॉइंट विच इज स्पोरोफाइट. जो एग एंड स्पर्म होते हैं वो हैप्लॉइड होते हैं, वो फ्यूज होते हैं एंड दे फॉर्म जाइगोट विच इज डिप्लॉयड इन नेचर एंड दिस जाइगोट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज डिप्लॉयड फर्टिलाइज्ड एग. It is the first cell of the sporophytic generation and this zygote further divides and develops into a sporophytic plant body which is called as sporogonium. ये जो जाइगोट होता है जो फर्दर डिवाइड करके स्पोरोगोनियम बनाता है, ये जो स्पोरोगोनियम है ये आर्चिगोनियम के वेंटर में प्रेजेंट है क्योंकि वहीं पे फर्टिलाइजेशन हुआ है. अब ये जो स्पोरोगोनियम है इट इज़ प्रेजेंट इन द वेंटर. तो ये जो वेंटर का वॉल होता है ये प्रोटेक्टिव कवरिंग प्रोवाइड करता है डेवलपिंग स्पोरोगोनियम को और इस वॉल को हम कहते हैं कैलिप्ट्रा. द स्पोरोगोनियम इन मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस इज डिफ्रेंशिएटेड इनटू फूड, सिटा एंड कैप्सूल. यहाँ पे ध्यान देने वाली बात ये है कि मैंने कहा इन मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस, हर में नहीं होता है ये, मतलब मेजॉरिटी केसेस में ये जो स्पोरोगोनियम है इट इज़ डिफ्रेंशिएटेड इनटू फूड, सिटा एंड कैप्सूल. नाउ द फूड विच इज़ अ पार्ट ऑफ स्पोरोगोनियम, we can relate its function with our feet. Basically our feet helps us to stand. Now same as the foot of sporophyte helps it to get anchor on gametophytic plant body. Now why the sporophyte needs to get attached on gametophytic plant body? As I discussed earlier that in division Bryophyta, sporophytic phase or sporophyte is dependent on gametophytic plant body because it derives nutrition from gametophytic plant body. Root is the lowermost portion, seta is the middle portion, and capsule is the uppermost portion of this sporophyte or sporogonium. We discussed the function of root. Now we will discuss the function of seta. As we know, the seta is the middle portion of sporogonium. It basically connects the root and capsule. And the function of capsule is that it produces asexual haploid spores, which are also called as meiospores. So basically the overall function of sporogonium is that it basically produces asexual haploid spores or meiospores. मैंने आपको जब पहले ये समझाया था गैमेटोफाइटिक और स्पोरोफाइटिक फेज के बारे में, तब मैंने आपको बताया था कि ये जो स्पोरोफाइट होता है इट इज़ पार्शियली और होली डिपेंडेंट ऑन गैमेटोफाइट. तो अब ये जो स्पोरोगोनियम होता है इट इज़ डिपेंडेंट ऑन गैमेटोफाइट फॉर वाटर एंड मिनरल सप्लाई, और बहुत सारे केसेस में ये पार्टली या होली डिपेंडेंट रहता है फॉर इट्स न्यूट्रिशन. This sporogonium remains attached to the gametophytic plant body throughout its life. Now, as we know, this sporogonium is mainly concerned with the production of asexual haploid spores. And as we know, these spores are produced inside the capsule of sporangia. These sporangia firstly have the presence of spore mother cells, and these spore mother cells undergoes meiosis and produces haploid spores, or these spores are the first cells of gametophytic generation. Now these spores germinate to produce gametophytic plant body. Now this gametophytic plant body can either germinate directly or through a juvenile filamentous stage called protonema. I have covered all the 4 points, but I want to explain you alternation of generation. As we know, the plant have both sporophytic and gametophytic generation, and when these generation alternate with each other to complete life cycle is called as alternation of generation. Now in life cycle of bryophyte there is regular alternation of generation between these two phases, and this alternation of generation is heterologous or heteromorphic. I have used the word heteromorphic. Now if I break this word into two parts, first hetero and second morphic. Hetero means different and morphic means morphology. So the two phases, sporophytic and gametophytic phase, are morphologically different, which means we can differentiate these two phases morphologically. Morphologically meaning on the basis of external appearance of that plant body. Bryophytes are fundamentally terrestrial plant, but still they are regarded as amphibians of plant kingdom. Though they grow on land, but still they require the presence of water to complete their life cycle. The water is needed for various purposes. For example, dehiscence of Antheridia, transfer of Antherozoids from Antheridia to Archegonia, movement of Antherozoids into the Archegonian neck. Because of all these reasons, bryophytes are regarded as the amphibians of plant kingdom. The smallest bryophyte is Zoopsis, and the tallest, which may reach up to 70 cm in length, is Dawsonia. So that's all for general characters of bryophyte. Thank you.